Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Creators1 News. I am El Blanco. I'm one business segment, and every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, I come in and I shoot a segment, and we do keep the auditorium open for when we do the live shoots. And if you don't get a chance to see us here live, you can always go to our website. It'll be posted eventually on the website at creators1news.com. And make sure you get a chance to do that because all of our other segments are on there as well. Um, so tonight, typically this is short. We never shoot more than 15 minutes. If we try to stay within the 15 minutes, but tonight we're gonna talk about what's going on out here in real life. That's gonna be very important as it relates to the digital platforms. Um, Everybody knows that, if they don't know, everybody should be aware that in the new age, this is the new people used to hear about it, from the mystical standpoint, like the new world order, or one world currency and all that. Um, hate to break it, break some news to you. These people already know when they set up different systems how long it would take for a system to implode. They also already know when a knowledge will become available to everybody else and it's no longer a hidden knowledge and it's no longer able to be disguised. So over time, we have used the same technologies as they turn military technology into commercial technology. Just like we got the microwave at a certain point, we got the cell phone at a certain point, then we got the internet at certain points. All of these things, they do have their timelines, and no different. And when I was telling people, the reason why a lot of us don't really know how to do business is because we have never been really brought into the business world. We know how to go file an LLC, we know how to file a nonprofit organization, and we know how to do the minimum stuff, but they don't know these things because we never really have been brought into these corporate environments or had mentors the way they do it, and been invited into certain areas. So for the most part, if you strive academically, they'll pull you and give you scholarships into their major schools. And if you go into their major schools, you can get access to their sororities, you can get access to their fraternities, and you can be a colleague and an alumnus of a major place where your future is almost set because of these affiliations and these inclusions and these introductions that are made. So what I do is, I'm not a part of these systems, but I know about all of them because on the outside looking in, I had to go through the back door to understand society so that I could move accordingly, with more understanding and more knowledge than the average person would, because you have to understand how the constructions are. How is a government constructed? How is a corporation constructed? How is a church constructed? For you to really understand how they operate. So um, I know that when governments plan hundreds of years ahead, just the government. So if a government was going to do business with, like the United States, let's say the United States was going to do business with Niger or Nigeria or something, right? And they decide to create some bonds that's going to fund everything they're talking about doing over the long term. They may say, okay, well, this is going to be 100-year bond, right? This bond will mature in 100 years because all the stuff this is going to take to finance this particular venture. And that means in order for this country to be able to utilize what we have, this country got to have a certain level of infrastructure. So the first part of the bond may cover that. And the bond itself, we need a $60 million bond. So that means the people in that industry know they're going to be employed for the next certain amount of years. And that's the money be available for cost of labor and all of that, right? So the same thing is going on in every other aspect of our lives. So that's business, and more importantly, that's business contracting. So what's going on in real life that affects us here in the digital world is that since everything will be going digital, and we're already immersing ourselves in digital platforms, we're in a social site that's in its beta stage, that's giving us access to their tools and their platforms to create content. This content that we're creating are assets. They become assets because we're creating them. Assets have a how well the economy around those assets become. Like right now, we got a few people. One day it's gonna be millions. One day it's gonna be tens of millions. But right now, the assets carry the value that we've created. So we've created value. Like, hey, I build places, I charge 500, or I build places, I charge 1,200, or I charge 3,000. Whatever the case may be, we're building an economy. At the same time, the platform itself, it's funny because long as they have volume and have members, a lot of members, you have corporations who always want to advertise and they want access to your numbers. They want access to your data. Like, we may not give you money for advertising because you don't have an advertising platform, but we will pay you for all this data you're collecting with your membership base. Why? Because now all that information is being fed to language learning models, all this chat box and GPTs and all this program, right? To be able to not only integrate with us and interact with us, interface with us. That I mean, interface and interact. These language models will also take over functions that otherwise a human person would have done, because the system is going to become more efficient in every sense of the word. It's going to become very efficient. All the systems become very efficient. So you won't have to worry about having low skill or low low skill talent working. You won't have to worry about um, having to pay high salaries because the laws will not allow a certain country to pay people so much less than the poverty line would allow. Or you won't have to worry about the countries, or countries or governments taxing you to death because the money has become so inflated. They still have to pull money back out the system by taxing you with it to continue to be able to fractionalize the monetary supply. And once again, I just said another term that most people may not be aware of by saying fractionalization. That's how these empires become super wealthy, because it's a fractionalization system that this money operates from, that has now become so, so I can't even think of the term. I know the term. I can't think of the term, but which inflated, and then once the money gets so inflated, then the system will eventually implode, and that's what's basically going on right now. The system is imploding, and we just took the hit to the what you would call the commercial real estate market. It's implode now. Commercial real estate market has collapsed. All those bonds and those particular bonds, they're not, they can walk away from them because these are commercial deals. They walk away from them. And now that they've walked away from them, the banks are left holding. Because of that, take a hit, because it's going to touch every part of society. So, but we're here in a digital platform. We're where we need to be. So if you're a creator, right? Or if you are a person with any type of skills that a creator can use, if you're part of any kind of avenue, right? An avenue that will assist in building the economy around you, which is all digital, then you're really in the right place at the right time. And while the governments and all the nation states and all the different investors in this digital field, while they're moving forward, um, um, to exit Cam, you have to go to that if you want to exit, that's the exit on the wall there, in case you was trying to exit. And so since you're here and you're at this particular point, all you need to understand now is that with all the governments, with all the investors, with all the technology, right, going towards the infrastructure of building the blockchain, where all of these digital assets we're dealing with and all the type of digital currencies will flow across. That's what you need to be aware of. If you're aware of where everything that's considered emerging, not just because it's an emerging market, because it's gonna be towards creating this system and finishing up, that will give you the idea of knowing where to invest in, what companies, or how to find out what companies are the most likely to get bought, right? So think of it this way: you have a lot of little small companies out there. They got white papers saying that, hey, we're here, we're gonna solve this problem for crypto, we're gonna help Bitcoin move a little faster, we're gonna have all these platforms and whatever, right? So those companies are very valuable, even though right now they're not worth anything. They're looking for investors, and everything is slowed down right now because the monetary system. But when things pick up, because the government is making its way around to making everything to where it's going to be what we say it's going to be centralized. It's going to be It's going to be regulated, and so being that is happening, all the cryptocurrencies are going to shoot up. So I recently checked my crypto wallet. I'm gonna share this with you guys. I went and checked my crypto wallet just a week ago, and when all the stuff hit, when COVID hit, and everybody took a hit, when Bitcoin and everything dropped, my wallet was down to 2,000 something crypto. I checked it a week ago. It's at 13,000. And that's because I never freaked out. And I never sold when everything was going. People trying to sell their stuff off and get their little money they could before anything happened. And it's at 13,000. So I'm not going to touch it because I don't need the crypto right now. I just need to make the earnings. I need it to go up. I need it to go up by its value. If I was trying to make money every day and cash out, I'd be day trading crypto. Like I got a friend in here, saying, that I went in business with to trade, and I'm not going to go into details on that, but it's different ways to make money. But I'm going the long way. I'm going in a direction where I knew that Ethereum, right, has the most platforms. Ethereum is very, very valuable to the movement of the blockchain. But so many other companies now are coming in trying to resolve issues, because if you try to do anything with Ethereum, the gas prices to move Ethereum are so high that I went in and I eventually purchased stuff like Polygon. I purchased Polygon because if I use the Polygon platform to do the same things for whatever other platforms that was using Polygon, it'll be a fraction of the cost. And as we continue to develop, all of these different companies are going to be so valuable. You're going to have somebody come in and say, we'll buy your company right now for $20 million or $50 million. And best believe they're going to sell that company, give them their technology. They're going to give them their proprietary understanding. And they're going to take that money and run, because that's $50 million they can take and turn right back around, and they can invest that into crypto or whatever. And they can get a lot further than they would have waiting for them to develop a solution and then trying to get paid. Now, so in real life, these things are happening, but most importantly, what I've been talking about for the last two shows is the tokenization, because all crypto are tokens, right? They may be used for commodities, or they may be used as securities, or they may even be used as money, depending on what platform you're on. So because of those things, the government knows that in order to compete with crypto and have control at least over the public money and the public assets, they're going to tokenize all the real world assets. So you won't just be relegated to you won't be relegated just to um just well, the government won't be on the outside looking in, put it that way. Because if they're going to have their stuff through regulation, and they can print money or call it government money or government loans, whatever, they can put money wherever they want, and then they can use that to purchase all the crypto and whatever they want to do, and have a large market share, and then eventually draw people over there. So the thing is, you have to understand and know the new world and how the new world is moving. And in real life, they're talking about it in terms of tokenization. They're talking about it in terms of blockchain. They're talking about it in terms of what you call government tokens, like the US DC, United States Digital Coin, right? That's planned. They plan on that being one of the forms of digital currencies for the United States. And China has its own in other countries. So that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I just want to make sure that in real life, what's going on in real life is right around the corner. And we're talking about as late as 2030, but as early as the end of 2025, you're going to see a drastic change. And the reason you should see a drastic change is because the Silicon Valley should be finished with developing the Internet of Things, as well as another company is working on the Internet of Body, because that's interfacing the body with the computers. Where you'll be able to think with your brain and think and do stuff with your brain. That's gonna be crazy, and that's getting closer to the end of that. But next year they should have that complete. And when the Internet of Things and interface and communicate, that means you're gonna start seeing these driving cars, autonomous cars, full features turned on, because then it'll be very safe. Because not only will the testing they've been doing for years to read magnetic paint, sensors, and all that, they're going to be able to communicate with everybody else in what positions, and all that to stop collisions, and everything can communicate on a wide range over the 5G network, and then to the 6G network, and then to the 7G network. And so that's what we need to know. So pay attention to what's going on in the real life, and then you'll get ideas of where you can carry your projects and your plan of action, so you can always revamp it as things develop, and you'll be aware of what's going on, so you're not left in the cold, out in the cold, trying to figure out what's next, because it's really around the corner. So I'd like to thank you guys for coming in tonight to Creators One Business segment. I'm El Blanco. We do this every Monday night at 10 p.m. And once again, you can go to our website at Creators1News.com, and you can see old segments. And thank you for coming, and good night.